be in my messenger. I sent it to Angelique, but
I got
Yeah,
what's that, Angelique?
so
I
crazy.
got the link. Thank you.
Angelique, did you get my email by any chance?
I haven't, I didn't get it as of about an hour ago, or maybe that was half hour ago.
No, I sent it yesterday. I like sat and I worked on it the night before and I put like all this effort into like revising it from the previous month. You should open the door. Okay, hang on. Hold on 1 second. And I had like all of these super fun things and I don't know, like I am announcing. Okay, hang on 1 second, ladies. Just give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I'm so sorry. Okay. Well, it is what it is. I don't even know. I had like so many super awesome things planned for us, so all good. We're gonna record it and I'm just gonna share that. So, well, it's so good to see you, my little friends. This is awesome. If nothing else, this just gives us an opportunity to come together and hang out. So I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, I have the coolest thing to show you. I'm so excited. So, hold on, let me show you. So here is the diffuser that I have been using for, like, and they come like in different colors, right? Like they have, Laura, this is for you, the purple.
Oh yeah.
I'm channeling you right now. So I got my purple one and they come in different colors. Okay, I found the coolest thing ever. So my whole vial concept with my teas. Victor is also not working. Hold on. Victor is pinging me. Give me 1 second. Um, I found, so this is my vial, right? So this is the one that I'm gonna do tonight. This is my Dusk Delight Peppermint. So Laura, I'm really channeling you tonight.
That's what I'm drinking right now.
Me too, actually. Me
Yeah,
too.
I
It's all
love
I
it.
drink. I'm right there with Ashley. That's my
I,
best favorite.
yeah,
I love that. Ashley, how do you like it?
I love it. And peppermint has always been my favorite, and so it just takes it to like a whole different level, and it really is just really good.
Oh, I'm so glad. Hey, Victor, it's so good to see you. Hello. Okay.
Hello.
So, Victor, I was just getting started. So, first of all, I did send out an email that I actually sat and wrote and didn't even plug into ChatGPT. I was like, this is going to be personalized. This is Vicki speak coming through. Like, I'm going to channel my energy into this. So, and then I guess the powers that be didn't send it.
Oh, you didn't
So
hit send.
no, I did. And I have,
Oh,
so I've been looking at the open and the click-through rates, and they've been like way lower than usual. So the open rate was like, it's usually 40 to 50%. And this time it was like 10%. I was like, wow, nobody really is interested in my tea parties. So it was like, but I guess maybe it didn't even send. Okay. I have to show you this because I've been over the moon excited. This just came in today. So you see this concept, right? With my
mhm.
vials. Discovered this, and it's an infuser. And so I didn't try it. I was saving it for our tea party today to see, like, I have my clear glass of water and we're like literally going to be alchemists and try this out tonight because
Oh,
I'm
cool.
excited. I have no idea what to expect. I've never used it, but the supplier reached out to me and was like, oh, I think this could really go really well with your motif. Because Victor, so these are the infusers that I've been using in the past. So we shall see. Shall we do this first things first? All right, let's do
Sure.
that
Yes.
first.
So
All
is
right.
it glass? Is it glass, Vicky?
Yes, it's glass.
Wow.
And I think what happens is the water, do you see this right here?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's how it infuses, and you can even measure out how much you put in here, depending on the size of the tea cup that you make. Anyways, uber exciting. So let's just see how this whole thing is going to go down. All right. And I'm recording this because I know several people want to see it. So this is about a teaspoon, I would say. All right, I'm going to close this. Now I really feel like a scientist. This is awesome. Okay, we put it in. Oh, do you see the bubbles forming?
Huh. How does that work? Like,
It's-
so is there like little
Oh, look at that. It went up.
holes?
Yeah,
Is there
yeah,
holes in the
exactly. You see that?
Oh.
And the water pressure like pulled it up. All right, so I'm gonna put it in here and I'm just gonna let it steep and let's see what happens. All right. And
How long do you let it steep?
so for this tea, it's like 3 to 4 minutes, I'd say. How long do you ladies steep? It depends on like how strong you want it personally.
Mine, I have a water machine and it does like cold, cool, and hot water. And the hot water, it comes out boiling hot. So it takes like 10, 15 minutes before I can even tolerate the how hot the water is. So mine steeps a long time. But if it wouldn't scold me, I would drink it sooner.
I have it, yeah. So do you see how the water is turning color? And I
Huh.
like that nothing is coming through, like there are no leaves coming out. Okay, this is nice. It's really cool. All right, so I'll keep steeping it for a few more minutes. Let's see what happens.
And see, I had a diffuser, but I lost it with the Ghost of Girlfriend Past. It was a really cool little cat one. And I would leave that one in probably about, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 minutes. But when I do my bags of Earl Grey, just regular tea bags, I usually just leave them in, get it nice and super strong.
I know you like it super strong. So, okay, so here's the drawback if I were to do like a review of this. The only thing is I don't have anything to put it on. Like this infuser is really convenient because it has that little holder, so it doesn't make a mess. And I didn't account for that with this one. All right, so I'm gonna see, I can't like stand it up, right? So, all right.
Yeah, but I bet you could invent a little, it's like just like test tube holders in a lab. You could probably make a little holder that catches the excess liquid. Oh, that might be a fun project.
Oh my
Actually,
God.
Vicky,
Yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say a product request if you could come up with it, because I have like all my little vials just in a metal thing, and they're like all falling over. But I love it. In your pictures I've seen, you have them like standing up in like a styrofoam thing. Like, can you make like a test tube holder or something so that they all stand up,
Ooh,
or
that's a
or
good
have
idea.
it made?
Sorry, go ahead.
I have a little thing for my plants, and it looks like little test tube holders, right? And I just like it's like my little propagation plant things, but it doesn't quite fit. The vials are a little bigger, so I'm like, if I could just figure out how to make this work, because they're just all like just falling all over the place in my kitchen. So that'd be nice if you can.
Oh my God. So I have these styrofoam, but if I got up because I want to show you. So I have this, right? But that's because I buy my vials like that, right? And that works perfectly because then I can just take it, right? And it's super convenient. But all of my customers have been saying the same thing. Vicki, I absolutely love this. So I actually had an idea. So something like this holds 24 vials, right? And for my tea club, you get one tea a month and you get it like this. So I was thinking, could I come up with something that's like this, but 12 holes, not 24? And that way, as you collect the tea of the month, you like build up your little collection. And wouldn't that be super cute, right? And super
I
fun.
love that. That would be awesome.
So I don't know how to do that yet, but I'm on a mission. But yes, I love that. Okay, test tube holder.
Hey, can I interject something real quick too? I was just thinking about for yours too. You could actually get some of those infusers or make your own version or whatever, and then sell them and then shrink wrap it though. So tea on the go kind of thing that if you don't want to take your whole tea collection, it comes preloaded with say some Earl Grey or whatever. Cause like I like to hike a lot. And if you make one maybe a little bit smaller and make it reusable, of course, they could use it again, but like have a single cup. And that way you could take a couple singles with you when you go hike and take your hot water, boiler, all that stuff. And it comes preloaded though with the tea.
I
So-
like that idea too.
In a vial like this, pre-fill it with the tea and have it as tea on the go.
So it's
Okay.
1 serving or 2 servings or something like that.
Okay, can I ask you, what would you pay for something like that?
I already know what your prices are, so I'm already maligned in that
No,
regard.
no.
I would say, I don't know, $6 maybe.
Okay. For the convenience, right? Okay.
Well, yeah. Yeah. And the thing is you could probably get around. I don't like buying cheap stuff. I just don't like cheap stuff. So maybe, but maybe not. I don't know what alternative you could use to glass. But I guess small test tubes are pretty stout anyway. So you don't really have to worry about maybe not make it too long. So just do some measurements on it because you're not gonna hike and camp in a cup that big. You know, you're gonna take a smaller cup.
Right.
So maybe look at some typical camping or hiking cups. Getting a little nerdy there, but
Yeah.
that way, or you could sell the cups as well.
Oh yeah, like have your own mug, like
Mhm.
like maybe a 12 or 16 ounce or both options, and then have like still essence on there.
And you could even make the mug in such a way that it has like a little cylinder holder. So you just push the cylinder, just the steeper instead of just laying it in the cup. If you wanted to get, I don't know, maybe take it to the next level if it's necessary, but you could make it so the cup's like this and it actually has a little slide portion so that the diffuser fits in it. It slides down and it's basically supported.
Oh,
Well,
that'd be awesome.
That would be really neat. Because Vicky, these test tubes come in all different sizes. So
Yes.
I didn't know it was going to be product development night. I like it though.
I am having a so guys, in true Vicky fashion, I created an entire PowerPoint where I was going to educate you about cold and flu, and you probably could educate me, but I was like, I am giving this thing a go, and I'm gonna like, oh my God, guys, this business, the amount of creativity that is coming through me because of it is beyond bonkers. I have this like new thing that I came up with because I constantly sit and I'm like, how can I create even more value? How can I create even more value? Hey there. Hi, Cherise. Thank you for joining. We're just getting started. We've been doing product development here. I'm Vicky. It's a pleasure to meet you. I know you're new to the party, and so I so appreciate you like joining us. This is awesome. And what I've been thinking about is I want to take this whole concept of the virtual parties, and now I want to find experts to come and join us so that they can share about like wellness and like, you know, people who've written about wellness. So like I sit and I think about all the time, like, how can I make this even better? But this is awesome. So, all right. It was so good to connect for 30 seconds. But do we want to maybe do a quick intro? So I have an intro game. So I'm going to start sharing my slides because that just makes me feel safe. You can take corporate out of the girl, but you can't take girl out of the corporate.
Who mentioned that to you?
That is me. That is just me talking. How's that? Oh my God. Okay, you guys can see this. Let's do this. Let's do full screen. All right. Awesome. Why is this thing not doing full screen? Or is it just me that it's not doing it for? I don't know. Is it full screen for you guys or no?
No.
It's, I'm looking at it as if, I guess you're looking at it.
Yeah. And I'm not lying and I'm not liking what I'm seeing. How's that? I want it to be like full mode. Why isn't it doing that? Let's see.
I think you might have had something right there.
Oh yeah? Okay, let's try it. I don't
Just
even.
be,
Yep. Sorry, go ahead. Let's try okay, I'm gonna do this slideshow. No. Maybe it's like this. Oh, it's like this. Okay. I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay. So let's get started. This is our second virtual tea party, and some of us already got to know each other. So it's so good to connect and to see familiar faces. So this is what it's all about. Some of us are new, so I want to welcome you. And let's do quick intros. So what are we going to do today? We're going to do fun intros and we're going to play a game. We will talk about cold and flu. I prepared a little bit of notes. We'll do some giveaways. And then most important, we're going to form friendships. That's what this is all about and create connection. So today we're going to play a game. Who's familiar with Never Have I Ever, the game? Here's someone.
Never heard of it.
Who's familiar with it?
I've heard of it, but I don't quite understand how it works.
So I've played it a lot of different ways. I even went and I looked up the rules. And you know, we can do this 1,000 different ways because we get to make up our own rules because we're the creators of whatever we want to make it this evening. So the way that I've done it is you say never have I ever, and so you like hold up, it could be on a piece of paper, or you could be holding up your fingers, and you basically go never have I ever, and then every single time someone says they've done it, you like lower the fingers, and that way you get to see like whether people have done these crazy things. So I thought that this could be like a super fun way to get to know what we have and haven't done in our lives. But you so the other thing is this is considered a drinking game, but I've also done it in like at parties without the drinking. So I've seen it done a lot of different ways. Tell me if you guys are up for playing this or if you want to do something else to do quick intros. You tell me what you're comfortable with.
I'm game, but you guys have to go first to make sure I understand how to play it correctly.
Yeah, same.
All right.
So maybe you go first, Victoria.
Okay. You'd think I'd prepare something that I have never ever. Never have I ever gone skydiving.
That's what I was gonna say. Jeez.
I'm channeling you, Victor, too now.
Okay, so so how do we respond to this?
So you got to put your finger down because like you're one down. Yeah. All right. Okay. Who wants to go next? Who's brave?
I'll go next. Never have I ever gone deep sea diving.
Oh, same. Ashley?
Never have I ever ziplined.
Oh. Laura?
Never have I ever. This is something we've never done. Okay.
And if we haven't done it, we keep our, if
Yes.
we've done it, we keep our fingers up, right?
If we've done it, if you've done it, you put your finger down. So if like you have
Oh.
zip line, then put it down. If you
Okay.
have, yeah. And you know
Okay.
what? Let's just do it with one hand because I think two hands is going to be way too long. So
Okay. Never have I ever. I was gonna say, okay, never have I ever been on a helicopter.
Charisse,
Never have I ever been married 4 times.
Wait,
that's me. Yep.
I
Okay.
haven't done it. I haven't done it, so I keep my finger up, right?
Exactly. Exactly. All right. I go next. Never have I ever eaten a squid.
Eating a squid?
Yeah. Victor, you are going to need 2 hands.
Okay, is it my turn?
Yes.
Yeah. Never have I ever ran a marathon.
Oh. If you hit that half marathon, fingers would be going down. Ashley, you're next.
Hmm. I'm drawing a blank. I don't know. Come back to me.
All right. Angelique.
Never have I ever ridden a camel.
Oh, okay. Laura.
I'm gonna go with Charisse gave me an idea. Never have I ever been married.
Okay. Charisse. Victor, I think your finger goes down. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Charisse.
Never have I ever been to Antigua.
Oh,
Oh.
Antigua. Wait, no.
Oh.
Okay. I just went to Anguilla. Okay. Ashley, we come back to you, my friend.
Never have I ever ridden on an elephant.
Oh. Okay. My turn. Never have I ever been to Japan. Victor, you.
All right. Never have I ever been on a cruise.
I've been on a cruise. Who's been on a cruise here?
Me?
How do you like it, Charisse?
Wonderful.
You like it?
Home away from home.
Oh,
I go about twice a year.
oh, that's so cool. That's
Love
awesome.
it. Been doing that for the last 20-something years.
Nice.
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
that's cool.
Love it. I just came back from one actually last week.
Oh.
I went to Bermuda.
Oh, that's awesome. I've been to Bermuda, but we flew there. So wait, that was Ashley. Angelique.
Let's see. Never have I ever, in one continuous trip, gone from the East Coast to the West Coast or the West Coast to the East Coast of the United States.
Okay. Laura.
Never have I ever hiked the entire Pacific Crest Trail.
What have you hiked?
Parts of it.
Oh my God. All right. After Laura, it's Charisse after Laura.
Never have I ever owned a dog.
Owned a dog. Oh, I go down. I have the cutest and the craziest white fluffy teddy bear.
Oh,
Okay. I
Wait,
think
so if we have owned a dog, then we put a finger down.
goes down.
Okay. I
All
might have fingers.
right. We have a winner. Who has a dog here? Who on the screen has a dog?
I have a dog,
You do? What kind of dog do you have, Ashley?
a border collie.
Ooh, nice.
oh,
I had one of those. Best
They're
dog ever.
yes, that's all I've ever had since I was little is border collies, and they're such good dogs. And the one I have now, she kind of chose me when I was in the wheelchair, so we have a bond. And our birthdays are a day apart, so she just turned 9, and she's like my best friend. She's so sweet. She's so smart, and she can do tricks and jump through hula hoops and all kinds of stuff.
And you know they are very cowy, as we call it in this part of the country.
Yes.
I mean, I couldn't believe it the first time. I didn't never even train this one, and it knew where to go when I'd have to push cattle. Knew where to go and everything. It was awesome.
Yeah, they're great herding dogs.
I love doggies. I never thought I would love a dog. I really didn't. And then my little one forced me into it. And then I just like, my God. I adore my baby, and that's why he takes advantage of me. So, um, but Victor, what you didn't know is that you'd be a winner of a prize. So you win the prize. Now, what kind of tea do you like? Black, herbal,
Earl Grey, hot. Yeah,
Earl
black.
Grey, hot. Okay. Black tea. So what you guys can't see, I wish we could do this in person. What you can't see is my little prizes that I prepared. So, because tea parties ought to be fun. So I have a ginger peach papaya. Is this something that you would be interested in, my friend? Trying? It's a black tea. No. What? Victor, you're so boring. I'm trying to branch you out, but I'll send you Earl Grey, but that's okay. I'm gonna make it lavender Earl Grey. I'm gonna
I do like ginger. So, what'd you say it was? Ginger what?
ginger peach papaya. It's heaven.
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it. I'll take your word for it.
Well, do you like peach and papaya?
I actually have fresh peaches on my counter right now in my kitchen. I love it.
I know it's peach season too. Oh my God, it's so good here right now.
Mm.
Well, you know what? We could do that, or we could do Earl Grey. You tell me, lavender Earl Grey.
No, we'll do what you have prepared. We'll do that. We'll try
I can do lavender Earl Grey. That's a non-issue. I want
No.
you to get something that you'd really like.
Well, you're going to branch me out. There you go. I'll take what you have intended. It's meant to be.
I'm writing lavender Earl Grey for Victor.
I've never played that game before.
You guys are going to be trying all sorts of teas with me because I really want to branch you out and I want to get you to try different palettes. All right. So that was super fun. Did you guys like that, or is this a yay or a nay?
That I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
So can I ask a question to everyone, Victoria?
Yes, sir.
So just real quick, I just have a quick poll that just came to my mind. What's your favorite pairing, like for snack and tea? Do you follow me? Like, do you change what snack you're having per what tea you're having?
Yes.
Well, give me an example.
Okay. So I
Please.
have this new flavor that I worked on with my blender, and it's a pecan white chocolate based tea. Oh my God. I have it because it has kind of like that nutty and smoky flavor to it. And I had it with a tiramisu. So there's a guy, his name is Pierre, and he's part of our tea lounge, and he has a bakery 30 minutes away from me. And I was in his shop and we were both like sipping it together because we were like, he was like, try my tiramisu. And I said, only if you try my tea. And he's like you, Victor. He's like, I don't like tea. I don't know how to drink tea. I said, sit down. I eat your tiramisu if you dry my tea. And we were like both in heaven drinking it together. That was a really good pairing. And then like if I'm doing something fruity, I like to like if it's like hibiscus based tea, I love having it with like a pie, on a cold evening. Like that's something that I really like doing, especially in the evening because it's caffeine free. So that would be something that I would do. How about others?
Me, I either have peppermint. I'm kind of boring like that. I have peppermint with honey or without honey. And
That's me
if it's
too.
like a sweet treat, I'll have it without. But if it's like, something that's not super sweet, then, I'll have it with. But other than that, I used to put milk in my tea, and that was a different experience with like a baked goodie. So, but I don't really eat a lot of that stuff anymore. So, but that's actually a really interesting thought, Victor. I'll have to think about that because I know that there are some pairings like that we do with coffee, right? It's like coffee and donut type thing. So I'm curious. I'm gonna look at myself because I know there's times that I do like Earl Grey and that I do like chai tea, but I think it has more to do with the pairing than just like having a plain. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it's a fun thing because what made me think about this, I was in college. I kind of had this thing of strong cigars and unsweetened cappuccino. And we had this coffee shop and they allowed smoking in there. Not that I was really a smoker. I was kind of just a cigar person every once in a while, like as some people are. And it was the best, the freaking vanilla cappuccino and a freaking awesome strong cigar. And I know it sounds kind of gross if you've never had a cigar, but it's like one of those things. I'm always looking for that perfect intersection of drink to food.
Mm.
Because like think about it. Think about when you eat pizza. What's the best thing with pizza?
Coke.
There you go. See, no question about it. So I need to find something that like goes perfect with my Earl Grey, and I don't think I haven't really found it yet. So
Well,
hence
how do you
my
drink
question.
your Earl Grey? Do you take it with honey or without?
I take it straight.
Yeah, see me too. I drink it black.
Yep.
How about like pairing it with a scone? Are you into scones?
I can be. I just don't really keep a lot of that kind of stuff in my house. Just 'cause I'm not a big sweet eater. I'm like a once a quarter sweet eater. I go buy a box of Little Debbie snack cakes and eat the whole freaking thing, and then I'm good for another 3 months. That's it's kind of strange, but I guess the tea would probably go great with that. But I'm looking for maybe. Oh well, it is fall, so maybe I'll try it with pumpkin pie. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, it's a good
Do
idea.
that or like a cranberry scone because that's also going to be in season now because it has that like that sweetness and the tartness, and then you have the black Earl Grey because that's how
Palate
I drink
cleansing.
Earl Grey. Yeah.
Good idea. Cranberry.
Any bakers in this group?
I like to bake.
I bake.
You do? What are some things you ladies like to bake?
I like to bake pies. Sweet potato pies, peach
Yum.
pie, apple pie. I like cakes. I make a rum cake twice a year during the holidays.
Sure,
And my
so
granddaughter, I'm just breaking her into learning how to make a cake.
I'm gonna make you laugh. So we went to the Caribbean over the summer, and I was literally going store to store looking for rum cake, but they didn't have it. And then finally in the airport in St. Martin, as we're about to like take off, I see a stand with what is it? Tobago rum cakes. I literally ran after it and I bought like, I don't know, 8 of them maybe. And I was like, we're having cake. And I brought some as souvenirs for everybody back home. So I love, love, love rum cake. And like every time I go to the Caribbean, I'll buy rum and then I'll make like a very simple vanilla cake, but I add rum into my batter. And what happens is it makes the cake extremely moist. The alcohol cooks off, but that moisture and the flavor remains, and it is to die for. And sometimes like I'll throw in bourbon and I'll do like bourbon with apples in a vanilla based cake. I mean, oh my God.
The trick is to make the glaze. If you make the like sugar glaze with the alcohol in it,
Uh-huh.
and you let it sit for about a couple of days, oh, it's very flavorful.
Well, I'd
And
like to.
it's just nothing
Oh,
but sugar, butter, and the alcohol.
That's-
And you just pour it on top of it. It's just wonderful.
oh,
sounds nice. If you want to blow everyone's socks off this fall, as when the pie pumpkins start hitting the stores, is go buy a bunch of those. And the way I cook them down, I learned I learned the inefficient way to cook pumpkin down was cutting up the raw pumpkin. Of course, you harvest the seeds because you can make pumpkin seeds to snack on. But I was I was boiling them. And that's kind of the inefficient way. So now what I do is I just take a sharp knife and stab it a whole bunch of times into the center, maybe 4 or 5 times. And then I put them in the oven until and I just set them in there at 350 for, I don't know, 45, 50 minutes, an hour. And depending on how many pumpkins you put in there, those pumpkin pies, the pumpkin will cook and then pull away. So it's real easy to clean afterward. And then I take all the pumpkin meat, put it in a bowl, and some of it will freeze until November and December. So that way I can make pies. But get a regular pie, go to the store, find a can of Libby's pumpkin sauce, take a screenshot, take a picture of the stupid recipe on the back and put that can back on the shelf. Make that exact pie, but with fresh pumpkin instead of that filler, and everyone will go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over that pie. No kidding. And you will too. It's so good when you use fresh pumpkin. No kidding. And I make them every year and everybody starts, but we're getting to that time now when people are going to start bugging me. I tell them, I said, hey, if you want some pie, when you see when you see those pumpkins arrive, snatch them up. So try it. Seriously, try it. And you will. I'll be blowing up my stinking DMs. You will. You'll be like, oh my
I
God, I
believe
can't
it.
believe this is so good. And then if you want to get really good, take it to the next levels, make your own crust.
oh.
Especially if you have some kind of nice buttery crust or whatever, however you like your pumpkin pie. But I'm not kidding you guys. It just takes it to the next level when you use fresh pumpkin instead of this puree stuff from, that's processed.
I believe it. I think everything is better with, fresh ingredients than anything canned is like, not 100% good.
Oh, absolutely agreed. What about Angelique and Ashley? Are you ladies into baking at all?
The only thing I really bake, I try to utilize all the fruit during the season. So I make a lot of little pies. And I just play around with baking. I'm in no way a baker because it's hard for me to precisely measure. And that's the difference between baking and cooking. When you cook things, you can a dash of this, a dash of that, but for baking, it has to be very precisely measured. So that was something that I only started to play with just a few years ago. And so, but I tell you, my mother and grandmother were such excellent cooks and bakers. And maybe one day I'll make something that would be worthy of them.
Wondering, with the season, Vicki, what are your recommendations? So I like pumpkin. I don't really actually too much, but I like, peppermint tea but like what goes really well with Thanksgiving and like the fall, like that crispy, cold, besides a sauna, right? But like what can give us that like feel of the fall and like that comfort, besides this, like honey, like a whole thing of honey. It's on my
Well,
desk for a reason, but anyways,
you all should branch out into other flavor profiles.
yeah, I'm trying.
I
So
have
what do you recommend for fall?
for
Because it's way
fall.
different than summer, right?
Okay, I'm gonna show you something. Hang on one second. So one of the things that's been happening in my life, and I know that we haven't caught up in a while, is bakeries have started picking up my teas. So there are bakeries throughout New Jersey that are now carrying my teas, believe it or not, which is really exciting. And they asked me the exact same question. So I was meeting with a guy today, and we literally went through this very thing. And I said, well, what kind of teas are you interested in? And he said, black. And I said, okay. So this is why you see my little black thing. Okay. And what we talked about for the fall is a couple of things. One is I have something that's called a cherry noir. So, and I wish you could smell this because it's got that tartness. Oh my God, it smells like something between red wine and cherry. I can't even put it into words, but it is absolutely spectacular. Let me see if I can look up the ingredients because this one is amazing. So he took that, like you can see my little thing, it's like practically gone. So, hold on one second. Let me go to my own website and look up the ingredients because I don't remember everything off the top of my head, but I do remember the flavors that are absolutely amazing. So this one, I'll tell you why I really like this one. It's called Aromatic Cherry Noir. And what it has in it, it has black tea, cherry pieces, cranberry pieces, blackberry leaves, rose and safflower petals, and natural flavors. So that's why it has that like tartness to it. So he took that. And then the other one, I have the pumpkin spice. So that's like a traditional pumpkin spice. The other one that has been uber popular is, let me see. Oh, it's called autumn. I'm like, where is it? It's called autumn cranberry. So this one is, oh my God. This is another one. So I sold out of the vials at my street fair. So I had to go down to the discs. So people started buying them in discs, in the tea discs. Let me read you what this one has and I can show it to you. I really like that cranberry, that tart cherry combination in the fall personally. So, the autumn cranberry. I don't know. How do you guys feel? Like, what do you like in the fall?
I like apple flavored stuff, and I've been trying to find like a healthy version of an apple something because all the apple ciders are just filled with processed crap that I don't need right now. So I love anything apple flavored, apple, cinnamon. Those are probably my favorite, and I like pumpkin stuff.
Yes, pumpkin is really good right now. Yeah, so this one is a very prominent cranberry flavor profile. So it literally has whole leaf Indian black tea blended with cranberry pieces, blackberry leaves, and that's it. That's all it has. So this is like a very pure one.
That sounds really good. I love cranberry. But the other reason I ask is because I have family in the fall that I visit and they love like all kinds of tea. So I like to take some with me, even if I try it and I'm like, if I leave it behind because I tried it and I don't like it or I do like it, doesn't really matter. But I know other people really appreciate it. So the cherry sounds good. I do love cherry, but the cranberry, that sounds good too. And I agree with you, Ashley. Every time I found some kind of apple stuff, there's like some kind of added something in there that's like
Yes.
it tastes a little fake, right?
Yeah. And I would love to find something healthier but still has that really good apple flavor in it.
Yeah, like an apple cinnamon. I do love that
Yes.
during the fall,
Yes.
winter. Yeah.
Okay, but if you really want to surprise your family, you got to do the Southern pecans. The Southern pecan like goes, like I fly through it. And here's what it has in it: pomegranate, moringa, sarsaparilla root, bitter fennel, pecan, calendula, sunflower and cornflower petals, white chocolate chips. The guy today was like, I think he literally bought it just because he saw the actual chocolate chips in them. Like, look at this. I mean, like this
Nice.
one is spectacular. This is the one that I like to have with cappuccino. That's the one that I forced the guy to try with me. Oh my God, it's like chocolate. I can't explain it. It's so good. It is so good. It's like walnut and chocolate and pecan pie, like all in one bottle. So that's one that's really unexpected that people just don't expect usually. And so the guy today was like, I gotta take this for my partner. So he was like buying it from, even though the store was gonna carry it, he was then buying it for himself personally. So I was like, okay, that's awesome. So those are the ones that really surprise me when I see something on the interesting side. Oh my God, Angelique is here. So Angelique, do you want to tell Victor your love of rooibos tea?
Oh, I'm having that right now, actually. And it's so good, Vicki. I grew up on that, and we used to have family send us a little package, a little care package once or twice a year from um, South Africa, where they would actually get it from. And you cannot find that non I would say, because here in this country it's mixed with everything. I've seen it mixed with lavender, I've seen it mixed with a few other things, and it takes away from that taste that I grew up with. And so
That good foot taste.
um but it's yeah, it's just a soothing memory for me, is what it is. And I was so happy when Vicky said, "Oh, I have that," and I was excited to try it. And I'm drinking, like I said, I'm having a cup of it right now. And as I was making it, I was thinking I'm gonna have to call Vicky and get more because the little vial's almost gone.
Oh no.
But it's so good. It's so good. Thank you, Vicky.
Oh, it's my pleasure. No, so a couple of really fun things. So the first time Victor and I are talking, he's like, Vicky, rooibos tea. And I go, oh my God, you're like one of 5 people who has ever even heard of it. Like my ex-wife was from South Africa. I go, oh my God, a really dear friend of mine is from South Africa. She asked me for rooibos tea. And it was like that moment when I'm like, no one ever asks me for rooibos tea, and it's really something very specific, and only the people who know it are the people that ask for it, you know. So but I have to tell you, so I'm at a street fair. I was at a street fair a week ago, and this guy runs up to me, like, young, and he goes, rooibos? And I go, not with me. He goes, rooibos chai? I go, not with me. Like, it's on my website, but I don't have it. And I was like, because only 3 people would ask me for rooibos tea. So like, it's not something that I just like bring with me, to these things. So anyway.
And for clarity, Angelique, I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it.
It is an acquired taste. It's a yeah, it's a really rooty different taste. So if you're not used to it, I guess I was what would you say, inoculated to its taste.
I
At a
used
young
to
age.
be I used to love it. I just drank so much of it that I just, I tend to do that, get hyper fixated on things. Like I did the same thing with chai tea. But I do like vanilla rooibos is really good. I just have it every once in a while. Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah,
how healthy
did that with
rooibos
the
is?
chai too.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh no, I got hyper fixated on the chai, so I don't drink it very often anymore.
But it's like that season because I'm seeing a lot of my customers. Like I sold out of spice masala chai on Saturday, whenever that was. Whereas a couple of weeks back, nobody was asking me for it. Everyone was asking me for the fruity herbals, the hibiscus. But do you know how healthy rooibos is for you? It's immensely healthy. I think it's good for immunity, for immune system. It's hello. It's also good for
The heck was that?
what else did I think for a lot of different ailments. Rooibos is incredibly healthy when I was researching it. All right, we're an hour in and I have a question for everybody. Do you guys want to go through the information for cold and flu that I've prepared? Do you want to save it for next time? How is everybody feeling? I want to go by how you guys are feeling. Or do you
I'd
just
like to hear what you prepared.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be good. And then it'll give you I don't know. Are you sharing these videos too?
So I'm recording it today for the first time. So and then I'll share it, I think.
Because that would be good too if you can, present and then share it.
Absolutely. Okay. So how did I do it the last time? It wasn't full screen. It was presenter mode. Slideshow. There you go. All right. So let's talk about cold and flu then. Let's get serious over here. This is how my team meetings go at work. Like we will goof around and catch up, and then we finally start getting into the weeds of the content. So, what's interesting about cold and flu is that a lot of times we will lump it into the same category, but it's not one and the same. And that's the thing. And I thought that it would be really important for us to learn and understand the distinction between the two. So both are contagious, both are respiratory illnesses, but they have very different symptoms as well as treatments. So for a flu, it's literally an influenza virus. And with a flu, what you will do is you will usually experience fever, chills. You know what a flu feels like when you're just like, I can't even open up my eyes. And like I've never been as sick as I had been when I had COVID. I mean, that was like literally the worst thing I had ever survived. I didn't know if I would. But that's how you feel, like you're groggy, you're drowsy. Whereas a cold is just like you could have a stuffy nose, or you have a cough, but you don't exhibit the severity of the symptoms as you would with a flu. Neither one is treated with an antibiotic. I know like a lot of parents will go into a doctor's office and they'll ask for an antibiotic, but because it is not a bacterial infection, it's a viral infection, it cannot be treated with an antibiotic. So that is something that I definitely see a lot of people doing as well, thinking that they can treat it as such, but that's not true. And then I went onto the CDC website and I just wanted to really like show what are the symptoms of colds and flu, and how it progresses. So it's just basically all the things that we talked about here, but I thought that it's important for us to make the distinction between the two. Hold on. So I love data and I love stats. So I wanted to take a look at, okay, well, how many people actually get the flu? And what was really jumping out at me is that according to data, but I feel like it's underrepresented slightly, is that only 8% of the population gets sick with the flu every single year. But what struck me even more when we look at the CDC numbers is that the highest incidence of the flu is in kids. And I always thought that kids and seniors are at greatest risk of getting the flu, but kids are more than twice as likely to get the flu than senior citizens. Now, I was wondering about that, and I thought about my own behavior. And I know that my own behavior is that I never get vaccinated for the flu. I just don't do it. Whereas my mom, who is a senior citizen, she always gets vaccinated for the flu. I don't know if there's a correlation between the two. I'm just using an example of one household where I found that to be true. And then adults are the second highest, the 18 to 64. So I'm like in that population. So does that surprise you guys? Because that really surprised me when I looked at those numbers.
It's not too surprising. I always become a hermit during flu season because I can't take the flu shot. I got Guillain-Barré from it when I was little. But so I just turn into a hermit during the winter. But working at a hospital too, I mean, I see more we see more kids with the flu than I mean, but we still see a lot of seniors, but I would agree with that. There's more kids that have come down with the flu. I think as adults we have built up our immune systems more, and so that I don't know. But yeah, the kids, they tend to get it more.
Well, kids are sticky and icky and, they cough and sneeze and they don't really, they live in the moment and they're very, yeah. And I agree, their immune systems are very, they haven't really been through, anything yet. So
And they hang out in a petri dish all day.
Yeah.
And seniors sit at home a lot, right? So I'm not super surprised by that.
That's true. But, then I went and I looked up, okay, so what is the vaccine supply though in the country? And varies year to year. And I think I pulled like 2023 to 24 winter. I don't think they had the numbers out yet for the 24 to 25 winter season. So the country prepares with 150 to 170 million doses of vaccine, which feels like 10x than what we actually need, because that's like literally half the country can be inoculated with the flu, right? So I just thought that this was really interesting because I wanted to understand the disease and numbers before we get into like, okay, so what do you do about that? So that number also surprised me. So that's why I wanted to share that with you, because it just felt really, really high when you look at the statistics of just how many people get sick with the flu. When do you think is the flu most prominent? This is a quiz question. What month of the year?
November.
I'll let everybody take a guess.
I'll say like, hold on. Maybe October. I know it's with the cold weather, it seems. Anyway.
I would say
February.
January.
Yeah.
You say?
I would say January.
Yeah, I would choose February, January, February.
I'll say December. So we all have a different vote.
Okay. So here's the big reveal. This also shocked me. So that's why I'm doing it like that.
Wow.
Oh, I got
February. So you guys were super close. December, January, February, and March. Like, really? We're still struggling. But then I think about it and I'm like, that is so true. we are still sick in March because we're still kind of like, it's coldish, at least in the Northeast, right? It's like still coldish and yeah. So that's when it starts to subside, is that March, April timeframe. So
February is where we have the most at the hospital, or that was this last year, but
Ashley, you were like on the, yeah, you and Charisse, you both knew. Charisse, are you in the medical profession at all, or?
I used to be.
Ah,
yeah.
I used to be.
so that's how you both know, because I was like right there with Victor, and I was thinking like, yeah, it's that October, November timeframe, because I feel like that's when I start getting sick, but that's not the peak of the season. Okay, so let's talk about prevention, because this is what we're really all here to learn about, and what I've been like really digging into. So I wanted to look at it really at a macro level from a prevention perspective. Like, what are some of the best ways for us to help prevent getting a cold or the flu? And, you know, I love having you, Ashley and Charisse, with that like medical background to add to the conversation. So please, please do. But I don't think that any of this surprises you. I think sleep is so critical. Sleep is how we repair our bodies. And it's so critical to just everything, starting with the immune system. And I think that that's like when we're sick, that's why the body starts craving it, because the body will ask to do what it needs. So when you get sick, that's like you just sleep. But hydration, vitamin C, all the things that we know, aromatherapy. I love steamy showers. I loved like putting that in here, because when I'm sick, or like when my kids would be sick, that's exactly what I would do with them. Although sometimes if they're when they used to run a high fever, I would put them in a cool shower to cool them down naturally. So it depends. And then I love this one, is the extra pillow to help drain your sinuses while you're sleeping.
Yes,
Propping yourself up. Yeah, go ahead, Charisse.
I do it every night. I
Oh, you
suffer from
do?
I have very bad sinus issues, and a year round I sleep with about 2, 3 pillows. My head has to be elevated because I will wake up choking on the mucus from
Yeah.
the back drip of my sinuses. So I'm I'm very much, I do that. And the steamy showers and the eucalyptus and the vitamin C with the orange and the tea. I do all of that.
I love it. Charisse, you haven't shared what's your favorite type of tea?
My favorite type of tea is peppermint tea.
Mm,
I drink peppermint tea, uh, black tea.
mm,
I will put I'll like oranges. I'll
mhm.
put oranges. I'll put lemon in my tea. Um, Other than that, but I was listening to everybody else and their favorite teas, and so this is going to be very challenging for me and very interesting. That I'm kind of stepping out on the plank and I'm trying new things now, and we'll see how it goes.
I love
But
that.
I don't like chai tea though.
Mhm,
That's
mhm.
to me is spicy.
Yep.
I don't no, I can't do that now.
Well, you know what's awesome is one of the reasons I love doing street fairs is because like I get to talk to customers, and I get just to talk to people and not customers, and I'll be like, well, what's your flavor profile? And that like, so this weekend, it's really interesting the way it also ranges by like what town I'm in. So this weekend it was all about black teas, or maybe it's because we're getting into like colder weather. And they'd be like, I want fruity black. I want lavender black. I want vanilla black. I want like, you know, there are like all of these permutations of like black tea. And what's interesting is pumpkin spice, it wasn't that popular. But like that cherry was really popular, or the cranberry black was popular. So, Charisse, I love that. I love the fact that you're even branching out, because honestly, I didn't know that tea came in 70 varieties until I got into this business. I was like, what do you mean?
Neither do I. Neither do I. But I want to say before I forget, I thank you so very much for the invitation. I happened to be looking through my spam folder today, and I happened to see it, and I said, wait a minute, that's tonight. And that's how I actually, that's how I got to be here, because I happened to see it. I don't remember subscribing or anything. And I just happened to see it, and I said, I'll see what this is about.
Well, we so love having you here. So yes, so before you joined, we had an entire conversation about how I put together. So I think you're the only one who saw the email. I think the email went into everybody's spam folder, because I put it together. I was telling them like I didn't even use ChatGPT because I was infusing some Vicki energy into it. So long story short, like I don't know what happened with the email, but I'm so grateful that you're here, because this is all about creating connection and community. You know, this is just about us coming together and having fun and learning and growing. So I'm so glad that you're here. Anything else jump out at you guys? Like, what do you all do like out of these things? I'm just curious.
I've started doing, I've always done honey with tea, but, and I still do regular honey with my tea, but I've ordered some Manuka honey a month ago, and I've been having a tablespoon of that every day. It's usually when I crave something sweet. It's really helped my cravings, among other things, but it's really good. And but it's so expensive. I don't put it with my tea because I have tea several times a day. But I do that, and then there's like I drink a lot of vitamin C stuff and a lot of water. I drink filtered ozone water, and also on that list, the showers. I have the Vicks steamable tablet things that I do, and the Vicks bath salts, and that helps a lot too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you know, when I was little, that's what my mom used to do, the steamy showers and then the
Yeah,
gargling with the salt water, because she was like super into homeopathic remedies. She like didn't like giving us a lot of medicine. So like I remember doing so many of these things when I was little with my mom. So yeah. All right. So let's talk about what you can do. And I wanted to really look at what natural remedies do we have just like in nature that can help with strengthening our immune systems, but then also with helping us deal with feeling sick. So, obviously you have ginger, and I know we talked a lot about ginger last time, and ginger is just like a miracle substance in my opinion. I mean, so some people that I was talking to at the street fair were telling me about ginger and how they just take ginger and they just literally will, what is the word? Just like crush it down, and they just use it, you know, in cooking or wherever, right? But I think that just ginger is just like one of those. It's good for inflammation, it's good for gut health, it's good for sore throat and congestion. I mean, and there's so many different varieties of ginger teas out there. Or if you don't want to do the tea, just do ginger, or just do like, I just think that it's one of those, you know, foundational elements that you should have in your diet. Honey, we just talked about it. Garlic is so amazingly good for you. We all know that. Peppermint doesn't surprise us, right? It's so good for congestion. And it's used in tea so prominently as like so many. I'm drinking peppermint because it's nighttime and I don't want to have caffeine. Elderberry, oregano oil, chamomile. Chamomile is like another one of those. It's like good for soothing your stomach, like if you're nauseous. Although I have to tell you honestly, so this blend that I created with peppermint, it has chamomile in it, but it's almost like tucked in there with like lavender and lemon balm. And the reason being is because I don't like chamomile. Who's a fan of chamomile here? Is anybody?
I like
I
chamomile.
like
It puts
it.
me to sleep though.
You do. Okay.
I have
And
a
oregano oil.
chamomile and lavender tea because I don't sleep much, but occasionally I'll drink. My brother bought me some chamomile and lavender tea, and it's like all in one, and it's really good.
Good, good. Well, this blend that I made, it's with chamomile, it's with lavender, and it's with peppermint. But the reason that I did it this way is because I don't like chamomile, but I want the benefits of the chamomile. So I had to like, you know how you do it like with kids, I would hide the vitamins in their food a lot of times. So I think I have like the same approach to tea because I don't like chamomile, but I know how good it is for you. So like sometimes I like open it and I'm like, oh my God, how do people drink this thing? But then I'm like, okay, I have to. It's so, so good for you, right? Licorice root, it is so good, especially when you have a cold, because it's really good to help reduce that, like the coughing and the congestion that you have. And then turmeric. We talked about turmeric last time, and I love the fact that we keep seeing the same herbs and the same substances, the way that they're able to help with so many different aspects of health, right? Whether it's inflammation, or to help you build up your immune system, or to help you alleviate your cold and cough. So I loved seeing that on this list. Any thoughts, reactions, or like, let's share, like, what else do you do when you have a cold and flu? What else do you lean on? Because I really want us to learn as well from each other.
I don't get sick very often. Luckily, I haven't been sick, like really sick in a long time. I don't usually get colds or flus or anything like that, but I do feel under the weather sometimes. And if that ever happens, I'll just get in a sauna or, work up a sweat, like working out or something like that. That really helps. Oregano oil too. I've had like little capsules and add that to my food and even add a little bit to like, my tea. Those are really the things I do. And then, yeah, I think chamomile kind of knocks me out at night. So if I really want like more sleep, I'll drink some chamomile tea at night and I'm just like out like a light. So those are the things I do if I have that experience.
I'd have to say I'm in that camp with Laura. I don't get sick very often. When I do, actually, oregano oil, I take one little drop and mix it in some water, and it's kind of gross, but I just kind of choke it down. But whenever I get actually under the weather, I'll take Theraflu or what are those little vitamin C packets that you dump in water and stir them up?
High C or something or
Yeah,
Yes.
The emergency packets.
There you go. Emergency is what I was looking
that's
for,
it.
Ashley. Yeah, that's usually what I do, but I think I don't really take any precautions because I just don't live that way. Yeah, I don't give it any energy in a sense. So
yeah, luckily when we're the kind that doesn't get sick, like, Robert will get sick and will be in bed for like 5 days and I'm just like wandering around the house trying to figure out, like, he had COVID really bad. And when I kind of felt like I had it, I was just like doing everything. I had some sinus stuff. So I feel like anything that clears your sinuses is really helpful. Because I have
Oh,
allergies too.
Mhm.
there you go.
Yeah.
What do you
So
use?
that's a Vicks.
Oh,
Ah,
That's a Vicks vapor thing.
oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That probably works real well.
Oh, it does.
so Laura, Charisse was sharing how she props up on the pillow. So do you do that too for the sinuses or?
I think I like there's the neti pot that works really well for the sinuses as long as you don't like add stuff to it that aggravates your sinuses. So I feel like I would prop it up if it helped, but I think I just have inflammation. It's not really like congestion, it's just inflammation. So the best thing for me is like a hot cold pack or just like sit in the hot shower. That's why I love the sauna too, because it just kind of gets everything in your body going. Um, but yeah, I think I just have a lot more like just inflammation in the sinus because of where I live. When I leave the state of Washington, it goes away. So it's probably just like the plants and the animals and whatever's blooming in whatever time, right? So
Yeah.
that's my experience.
Yeah, it's so localized. Okay, so how can tea help? So I really loved what some articles had said about like just the general benefits of tea, right? Just like the warmth. I don't know, just like a cup of warm tea, I think is so just soothing and comforting. And I know that like whenever my kids are sick, that's like literally the only time that they will drink tea, but that is what they want. So there's just like, I don't know if it's mental programming that we have that like, oh, that warm cup of tea, like that just helps me feel better. But tea does a lot more, but it is so good for you, and it helps. It really does genuinely help alleviate the congestion and the stuffy nose. Like a lot of times, I don't know if you guys ever do it. If you have a stuffy nose, I just like if you breathe in the steam, it's almost like being in a hot shower, right? Like if you breathe in the steam, it helps decongest you a little bit. So that's really good. But these are the ingredients that are most commonly found in tea that are really beneficial. So peppermint, the reason that peppermint helps with congestion is because it contains menthol, and menthol is the substance that you'll find in a lot of like, whether it's medicine or like cold and flu medication. So peppermint is just like the natural substance for it, and it helps reduce the inflammation and the body aches that we have. Chamomile, we've talked about. Echinacea, I see it a lot in even those like cough drops, like a lot of times you will see it included in there, but it helps with colds and reduces how long your cold will prolong. Ginger, we've talked about elderberry. Green tea is really good because it's full of antioxidants and helps fight bacteria. Hibiscus, I mean, that's just like a miracle substance anyways, but it's like full of vitamin C, it's full of fiber. Because I had clients who reached out to me and they're like, hey, what could you do for like for digestion? And hibiscus is just full of it's full of vitamin C, it's full of fiber, it's really good for your immune system. And then nettle. Nettle is one of those substances that you don't hear a ton about. But when I was researching it, did you know that it's actually really good for your skin? Nettle is really, really good for your skin. And it has vitamin C and carotene. And it helps you fight off bacteria. And it's a less commonly known than like a peppermint or I don't know, a ginger, but it is incredibly healthy. And it's something that you find like in a mate, in like whether it's yerba mate or in a mate blend. So that is what I've uncovered when I was researching cold and flu remedies.
I have a question, Vicky.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back into like product development unless it kind of flows that way. But I am a huge fan of herbs. So I love herbs. I love to cook with herbs. I put oregano in everything. I also love the benefits of cayenne pepper and turmeric and black pepper and all these amazing things. And I know how to like mix them and make them taste good, right? And I think one of the reasons why I stick with peppermint is because I know the benefits, and I also know the benefits of all of these herbs too. I just don't put them in my food. But I
Mhm.
think it would be really great if there was like, Vicky's preventative package for the month or something, and you had like a morning tea for like maybe a little bit of green tea because I don't do caffeine very much, but if it just had like a little bit for the morning and then like a mix for the morning and a mix for the evening, I would just buy that because then I know that, I don't have to do all the research and I don't have to mix everything. I just know that I'm doing something good for my body and I don't have to figure it out, right? Because I think that's why I don't really switch is because I'm like, do I want elderberry for immunity or do I want nettle, right? And they're all good. So I think if you just put together mixes and just say, here's Vicky's remedy or not remedies, but like prevention or whatever you can come up with, I would just buy the package and then I don't have to worry about figuring all this stuff out, right?
Vicky's individual package, VIP.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
like
love
yeah,
yes.
like Vicky's something.
So you are literally so yes, yes, and yes. And I want to echo that with, do you know what I had customers doing this weekend? So they would take this dust delayed peppermint, and then they'd be like, okay, I'm gonna buy this. And then I have one with ginger and fennel and green tea, right? The Ayurveda. They would take that and they'd be like, okay, so this is gonna be my morning because I want the detox with the green tea and the ginger and the fennel and blah, 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 and the rose hip. And this is gonna be my evening. And they were pairing it up. I had other customers buying this one and they would buy like a hibiscus base and they're like, oh, you know what? I think I'm just going to blend them myself and I'm going to turn. And I was like, yes, people are looking for those pairings. The other thing that was also happening is I had customers, my township is not sleeping. Like 90% of the customers that approached me this weekend asked me this question: what do you have to help me sleep at night? And so, of course, I'd go, this one is a peppermint and it's peppermint with, lavender and chamomile. And I already blended everything for you. And they're like, no, no, no. I mean, like, it'll knock me out. And that had me thinking, I'm like, knock you out. Like, you're talking valerian roots, right? Like, you're talking something really strong. And so this weekend, Ashley had reached out with just some question, and I reached out to one of my companies that I work with, and they sell the valerian roots, like organic. And I was like, well, I could take the valerian root, I can couple it with all of these other things, and I can create a blend that's like, it's going to knock you out. Or here's something you can have in the morning, something you can have in the evening, right? And like that way
Yeah, or
you
lunchtime. Yeah,
detox.
even.
Yes, 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 that's exactly right. So I'm starting to hear this more and more, Laura. Sorry, Victor, go ahead.
Oh, I just put that up because I wanted to ask a question basically to all of you. Is spearmint, I prefer spearmint over peppermint, but does spearmint have the same advantages as peppermint?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer, actually.
I like spearmint tea. It tastes a little sweeter to me, but it doesn't taste as strong because I have bought both. So I don't know if it's just like they're just like cousins, but I feel like it definitely has menthol in it and does work with the congestion. So I think it's very similar, just maybe not as potent.
I think they both in the mix.
Spearmint tea is really good.
Go ahead, Ashley.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have my volume turned down. I was just saying spearmint tea is really good too, and it might just be because it's in the mint family. I don't know because I like peppermint tea so much, but it's really good.
Sharice, did you want to add something?
No, I just said they're both from the mint family, so that's why they probably, taste just a little different, just a little tad. It's a tad bit different. But I've drank spearmint tea myself a time or two, but I primarily just I stick with the peppermint tea
Mm-hmm.
because I drink at home. So I buy the K pods. So I bought the peppermint K pods, so I got it all stocked up.
So Charisse, I buy Trader Joe's peppermint tea, and it's like I've never found one as good until Vicky sent me hers. So even Robert, who doesn't drink tea, he's like, I like Vicky's better. And I still like Vicky's better. I go through it like a lot though. So then I use Trader Joe's for backup. And I don't know what's with Trader Joe's peppermint tea, why it's so different than even the really expensive brands. But Vicky's is like, as soon as I run out, I'll be buying more because it's just the best one I've had. So I thought I'd share that for us peppermint tea drinkers.
Thank you. But I do have to say, so kudos to Trader Joe's though. They do that with chocolate too.
Oh
Like,
yes.
I mean, they're like $1.99 when you're getting like the highest grade chocolate, and I'm like a chocolate snob when it comes to chocolate, and it's literally my go-to. I mean, the quality or cheeses, their cheeses are absolutely amazing. So kudos to Trader Joe's for like really looking out for the consumer and, like making living well semi-affordable, so
Mhm.
I'm a huge fan of Trader Joe's. I love Trader Joe's.
Yeah, me too.
Never been there.
You're
We don't
missing.
have one. We don't have one.
You're in Oklahoma, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. I have family there. I used to live in Arkansas, and I think there might be Trader Joe's in Arkansas, but there's not a lot in Oklahoma.
I think there's one in Northwest Arkansas, almost for sure there is. But
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know where you lived in Arkansas. Where did you live in Arkansas?
Fayetteville.
Oh, really? Did you go to U of A?
No, my mom did actually. I moved to Seattle area when I was 12, and I've been here ever since. So,
Oh,
but
okay.
all my family still lives in Arkansas and Oklahoma. So I know there's not a lot there. I visit regularly though.
Well, it's not the Stone Age, of course, but I have family that lives in the corridor right there in Northwest Arkansas as well. Fayetteville, Springdale, Bentonville.
Yeah.
I've missed something. Rogers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a beautiful area.
yes, it is. It's just overgrown because I remember being a kid and they didn't have that big super highway up and down that corridor. And it took a long time to drive from town to town. And of course, then Walmart exploded. So
Yeah.
changed everything.
Yeah.
I do have another question.
Yeah.
So, Victoria, since you're the tea expert, so when you go get tea or some kind of blended tea from, say, Starbucks,
Yep.
how much of that is actually tea and how much of it is actually chemical? Because, like, I think one of the worst things you can do is go get a pumpkin spice latte from some store.
Yep.
And all it is a bunch of stinking nasty chemicals mixed together that vaguely taste like pumpkin.
Well,
You follow me?
the other problem is, so I'll tell you two quick things. One is I've had customers come to me, so my tea is sourced from primarily, I'll say, 4 places, which is Sri Lanka, Taiwan, China, and Japan, which produces like the finest tea in the world. And then there are other tea farms too, but those are the primary. I have had people from Sri Lanka come to me, buy my tea, and then take it back to their country. And I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
well, I had to ask the question. It was like, okay, I don't mean to sound like smug, but I was like, can I just ask you very sincerely, like, why are you buying this tea and bringing it back to where it came from? Like, can't you get it a lot more affordably, like back home? Right. And what the woman said to me, she said, what you don't realize is that in these countries, they'll take the finest grade and they export it to the United States, to Europe. And then they give the lower grade and the lower quality to the locals. So she's like, my family, like, I want to spoil my family. So I'm going to bring them the highest quality, premium quality tea. And I have to get it from here and bring it back home. Sad,
wow.
but true. And then I had somebody do that from Taiwan. And so let's talk about what we get in Lipton and what we get in Starbucks. Lipton has that like lower grade, crushed up, leftover tea. Like they're not using the finest quality tea. That's why it's so affordable, number one. And then when I look at Starbucks and what they're doing, do you know that they use powder? Like they'll use tea, yes, but they'll mix it in with powder too, because the powder will give it flavor, it'll give it sugar. And like, I hate to say it, but like, I used to get tea there and they've now bastardized it because you know what they do? They'll take tea, they add in sugary lemonade, they'll add in honey syrup, and it's like sugar on top of sugar. And I'm like, I don't want all that. I just want pure tea, you know, on the go. And so that's my answer to you, you know, in terms of what places like that will do. Now, there are places that will use the fine quality, like if you go to a tea house and you got a cup of tea, or you go to a really nice, there's a coffee shop that I love. They use, what is the name of the company? Well, it'll be like organic, blah, blah, blah. Like you can just tell that this is high quality product that they're using.
Now, is your Earl Grey sourced from China? I try not to eat anything from China just because I have a little bit of knowledge on China and how they fake a lot of stuff. They use some pretty disgusting ways. Like, well, without getting too into the weeds, I don't trust any of the food supply in China at all.
I know.
Taiwan, different story, but mainland China, no, thank you.
Yep. It is a good question, and I'm going to look it up. This is what I do.
But I think Earl Grey, that blend, the bergamot, or what is it called?
Bergamot, yeah.
Bergamot. That's primarily from India, I believe, right?
From India. Mm-hmm.
And which is Sri Lanka is right off the coast of India, if I'm with my geography. Okay.
Yep. Let me see. Hold on.
You don't have to answer right now. I was just curious.
No, I'm going to look it up. I actually want to look it up. I will look it up. So that's kind of like what you find.
I never thought about the bags of Lipton being just the dregs, you know, what's on the leftover on the floor. I never thought about that. Because, hey, next time we do this, can we talk about your favorite iced teas? Because I drink a lot of iced tea. I actually drink more iced tea than I do hot tea. Just because it was 90 today here, you know, so it's like.
Do you make your own iced tea or do you buy it?
I will buy the mix and steep the mix. So I buy it, and I actually have a tea machine because I don't have a big, huge steeper thing, but I get it out of a company out of the West Coast called, I buy it in bulk. Here, hold on. I'll be right back.
Well, he's about to not get Earl Grey because he's going to get ginger peach papaya, what he was meant to get, because that's like absolutely delicious cold. Who makes iced tea? Do you guys make your own iced tea?
I don't.
I
I mean,
like iced tea.
Oh, go ahead, Ashley.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I would if I used to do caffeine and now I don't, so I don't know about peppermint iced tea. Maybe I should try it, but I don't know. I usually just drink water or decaf coffee or I should try. I used to make sun tea. Like I grew up making sun tea. So it's just not as good any other way. Maybe
Laura,
I'll
you
try
don't
that
like
again.
fruity teas, right? You don't like fruity teas.
I'll if I were like if you were to make me like hibiscus and just say this
Yeah.
is if I knew it was good for my health and I was drinking it for a reason, I would. But just on flavor alone, unless I have a reason to go towards it, I usually just don't, right? That's why I love the idea of like just saying, here's your evening,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Well,
Then
because
I'll just drink it knowing it's good for me.
I have a cherry hibiscus. I think you're gonna like it. Yes, you would like this one. It's cherry hibiscus. It's a little tart. It's not too sweet. So it's cherry, apple, hibiscus, elderberry, and things like that. It's naturally caffeine free, and it's absolutely delicious as an iced tea too. Okay, okay. That's good to know. Victor, you're back.
I am back. Okay,
Yeah.
so I get this tea from a place called Wildflower Bread Company. And every time I go to Sedona, I always bring back a box of these little tins,
Yeah.
and it's the wildflower iced tea. And it is it is so good. It is
Ooh.
absolutely my favorite. And it makes the best tea. And it's kind of, it's, well, I make my tea strong, but it is very hearty. I mean, it has depth to it. It doesn't just it has like levels to it. Like when you eat something or you drink a tea and it's like it has a beginning, like I'm kind of sound like a wine snob in a way, but it has kind of a beginning taste and then a middle body experience and then the end. And it kind of just peters out on your palate. It's kind of interesting,
I'm
but
gonna
I
look
love
it
it.
up. I wrote it down. This is
That's
really cool.
Wildflower Bread Company.
Thank you
So
for
it's
sharing.
wildflowerbread.com.
Awesome. 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 Okay. So super quick, I was going to tell you what are the three that I created. Well, that I've created, but that I know are really good for colds as well. So this is the Immunity Calm Ginger. Like that one I can use for everything, honestly. Just it has like licorice root, fennel, ginger root, cinnamon, rosebuds, lemongrass. I mean, it's just like an all around really, really healthy. It's good for inflammation. It's good for immunity. It's good for colds and flus. The one that we're all drinking, well, some of us are drinking, is the peppermint sundown. That one is also really, really good. It's like it packs a punch. So because of the lemon balm, the peppermint, the blackberry, lemongrass, chamomile, lavender. So it's really, and it's not like overpowering in flavor. That's why I went with that flavor profile and those ingredients. And then this is one that we haven't talked about much in the past, but I have a spearmint ginseng vitality mate. And it has lemongrass in it and green mate, ginseng, nettle, which is all so, so good when it comes to immunity, when it comes to vitality. A lot of people get it for skincare because of the nettle in it. And I don't know if you guys had heard the way that yerba mate exploded over the summer. Had you guys heard the story? So I'll tell it super quick. So because of Messi and his wife, and just like a lot of soccer teams, they drink like the mate teas. So whether it's yerba mate is a Latin American tea drink. And so it's very, very popular there. And they took it and they popularized it all over Europe, in the United States. And yerba mate teas just exploded. And the way that I knew about it is that all of a sudden I started seeing like customers reaching out to me and then also writing me and saying like, hey, do you have a mate? And I was like, I do, but like, why is this so popular? So I finally had to ask them and they're like, oh, it's all over social media. Messi and his wife, they're like into mate. So it was like a big thing over the summer. But it's an incredibly healthy tea as well. And so, so good from immunity, for skincare. It's really good for colds and flus. So those are the three that I selected. that I think would be really good for colds and flus. So that's all I had. Oh, and then lastly, I was going to tell you guys about my tea club. So I launched a tea club and I've been getting great feedback about it. I've gotten feedback of you need, a tea club that allows for 2 ounces a month. So with a tea club, you get a vial once a month, you get free shipping unlimited. We're going to do even more from like a community and a membership perspective. And so I'd been asked the question of like, could you do 2 ounces instead of the 1 ounce type of membership? I had another customer that reached out to me and was like, could you do it as a 3-month subscription and not just a monthly subscription? So I'm like playing around with all the different permutations to see like, how can I satisfy my customers? So I introduced the 1 month, the 3-month, and the 12-month subscription now. So I'm listening to my customers and I'm responding. So, so that's the tea club. And like I said at the very beginning, I think about how can I create the most value I can. And so I've started to reach out to experts in the field to see if they would be willing to come and to start sharing, if they've written a book about holistic medicine, or if they're experts in herbs, for them to come and to start teaching us and educating us, just so that we start getting like a lot of different perspectives on the research that is out there for wellness, for herbs, and how do you just live, a holistic lifestyle. So that's all I got for today. And now I'm going to stop sharing because I like seeing everybody.
Thank you, Vicki.
Done. Questions, thoughts, reactions.
That was good information as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Good.
Thank you, Vicki. It was very informative.
Oh, so glad you guys joined. It's so good.
Very good timing tonight this time, because I've got to go start my show, and I start my show in about less than 30 minutes. So gives me a little bit of prep time.
Can Victor, can you make a quick plug for your show? I love your show and I really want to get on.
Sure. I do an energy meditation every night at the top. I do it at 9 p.m. Central, so 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a little late for some of you, but it lasts about 11 minutes. I've been going over a little bit late, but at 11 to 13 minutes. And it begins, I start the stream about 15 minutes beforehand. And so I just go on and banter and chat with, just kick stuff around or whatever's on my mind. Tonight, we'll be talking about the supermoon, and also it being an energy meditation. You won't leave the meditation drained, because what we do is we focus on teaching people how to utilize the God / universe / spiritual energy all around us, the ether that's all around us right now. And then of course we tap into Mother Gaia as well, the earth energy. So if it's something that resonates with you, check out Truth Wave Energy Meditation on YouTube and you'll find us. And just say hi when you come in.
So that's how I find you.
Yeah. You need to actually, Victoria's been, I have people come on live, and tonight you'll see, I think we have one person on the love note tonight. But if you come and you can just check it out. And if you want to come on the show, by all means, I'll give people a plug and give you links, of course, in the show description. But Victoria's done it, and she's still alive. She had a great experience being on the Truth Note that night. Remember? So.
No, I want to do it again. And every time it sends me to the Calendly link, but the Calendly link is 24 hours in advance. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do it tomorrow night, but I have time tonight. And so like I'm in this like loop, but now I know where to go.
If you want to do it on short notice, just shoot me a DM, or I think you're in the Truth Wave note holder group, maybe. Okay. And just say, hey, is this node open tonight? And I'll tell you yay or nay, and you can get on a different node.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you. Thank you everybody for joining. I'm so glad you were all here. And please send me feedback on what we can do better, differently. Like I look at feedback as a gift. I never take it personally. So I love, love, love hearing from everyone. And I really want to just create as much value as I possibly can while I'm walking this earth. So that's all I
Awesome.
got.
Well,
All right,
thank
guys.
you, Vicki.
Thank
Thank you
you. Thank you
Have a
so
good
much.
Bye.
Stay tuned.
Bye. Nice meeting all of you.
Good to see you all
Thank you,
again.
Vicki.
Thank you. Okay,
Hi,
bye.
Angelique.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
Laura.
Victor. Good to
Bye.
see you.
Good
Bye,
to see
Vicki.
everybody. Bye, Angelique.